I once thought my life was filled with simplicity and normalcy, until I discovered that I am not only the daughter of a pack leader but also a rare white wolf, sought after by many alphas. Chapter 28. The journey to the shared territory between my father's pack and Alex's is arduous, especially with my still, injured paw slowing us down. My anticipation makes the trek feel interminable. As soon as we reach the clearing, Elise's scent fills my nostrils, and I bolt towards it, surprising my guards who struggle to keep up. I spot Elisa at the edge of the meadow and pounce on her with an excited bark. The familiar scent of the Robinsons on her foot triggers a wave of homesickness. I long for our uncomplicated life together, for the normalcy we once shared. Now, as the daughter of the pack leader, I'm constantly under scrutiny, with endless whispers and gossip following me everywhere. A flicker of movement catches my eye, and I see Mrs. and Mr. Robinson standing a short distance behind Elisa. My former foster mother's eyes are brimming with emotion, while Mark maintains his characteristic reserve. Elisa playfully shoves me towards the dance trays, and I comply, eager to shift and share everything that's transpired. Bea, my protective guard, brings me my clothes and turns away as we shift and dress quickly. I opt for the soft cast from Kyle's pack doctor instead of the hard one I received during my previous visit. You have to tell me everything, Elisa demands immediately, her curiosity palpable. I laugh, feeling overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. As we emerge from the woods into the meadow, with Liam following closely, Elisa jumps right in. Let's start with the basics. How is sexy Lexi? Confused, I ask. Kyle, idiot, she clarifies, rolling her eyes. Lily, joining us, chimes in. For some reason, she doesn't know how hot he is. I feel a blush creeping up my cheeks. I know how attractive my mate is. I protest. I just don't use the nicknames you two have concocted. Elisa, this is my younger sister. Lily. Lily extends her hand. Call me Jess. As they exchange pleasantries, I notice Mrs. Robinson's tearful gaze. Despite my discomfort, I approach her and we embrace tightly. I've missed you so much. I'm so sorry. Her maternal instinct's evident. I'm fine, I reassure her, returning the hug. I wave to Mark, who responds with a small gesture but remains distant. Elisa interrupts our moment, eager to catch up on gossip. As I turn back to her, I notice her expression change. Following her gaze, I see Alex approaching, his confident stride unmistakable. You've made it. Flashing a smile that makes me uneasy, I thank him for allowing the Robinsons to visit, but he dismisses my gratitude. This is mutual land. I didn't let them do anything. Well, thank you for taking them in. I persist. His reply sends a shiver down my spine. You're welcome. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Milburn, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I did it for purely selfish reasons. His intense stare makes me shift uncomfortably, and I glance at Elisa, who mirrors my discomfort. You're more than welcome to come into my territory, anytime you want. Thank you. I respond. I watch as Alex turns to Liam. Did Kyle find Ivy and the other woman? Yet no. Not yet. Kyle is looking for Ivy. I question, looking at Liam suspiciously. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Milburn, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. He found a scent on his land. Alex answers me. I question further. Earlier this week. That's why you're here. He didn't tell you. Genuinely confused. No, he didn't. He should have. That way you can be aware of what's happening. Alex says, slightly irritated. I look at Liam. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Milburn, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. It was orders. He responds, holding up his hands. He didn't want to ruin your weekend. Still angry that Kyle didn't share with me the dangers lurking in our own backyard, I put my arm around Elise's. Well, we have some catching up to do. No boys allowed. Tugging Elisa along with me and Liddy follows. I stop in the middle of the meadow and sit. Has it been in a luxback? To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Raising her eyebrow. Alpha Briggs. Whatever. What's between you two? Elisa asks. Entertained. Liddy replies before I can. He wants her. First Alpha Reese. Then Alpha Hart and now Alpha Briggs. You lucky bitch. Elisa says, shoving me playfully. You say it like it's a good thing. I grumble. Dad thinks it's your scent. Mom had it too. Until she started having pups. Liddy shares. My scent. Yeah. You're a rare white wolf. Just like Mom. He thinks it's nature's way of making sure you reproduce. She replies. Seriously. That's so romantic. My scent is to assure I reproduce white wolves. I wonder if Kyle knows. I question, distracted by the idea. No, Dad didn't tell him. He thinks Kyle would make you have pups right away. Like he did to Mom. Lily explains. Maybe it's a good thing Kyle doesn't know. I think Dad is right. Kyle might force me to have pups if he knew his mark doesn't matter to other wolves. That my scent still calls out to unmated males. I won't lie. I've noticed my scent hasn't changed like other mated she-wolves do. I know I'm always covered in Kyle's scent, but our scents haven't intertwined like normal couples. So you're saying she still smells single? Because I smell Kyle all over her. Elisa waves her hand in front of her nose like I stink. I can't help but laugh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lily says, laughing with me. Do you think Kyle would make you start having pups if he knew? Elisa questions. I hesitate. It's hard to say. But he totally would. Josie. You know it's true. Lily interrupts. How did I get so blessed to have two outspoken and bossy sisters? It's the luck of the draw. Elisa and Lily say at the same time, making us all laugh. I can't believe Kyle didn't tell me about Ivy. I state, ripping up the grass. Elisa asks, my half-sister. She's gone mental. She wants to hurt Emily and our mom and dad. Lily explains, fiddling with her hair. She's always been such a bitch. It's not surprising that she went crazy. Why does she want to hurt you and your parents? Her mother died when she was young. Our dad met our mom and mated with her a year after she died. Ivy hasn't gotten over it. She thinks our dad rushed into the relationship. Then after I was taken, I clear my throat. They were so preoccupied and sad they didn't pay much attention to her. She holds that against them and me. Like it was your fault. The bitch must be crazy. Elisa huffs. This is too weird. Lily complains. Looking round us, I realize what she means. We have 5 guys surrounding us. It is weird. Why don't you come back with us and spend the night? We'll have a girls' night in. Lily, you should ask Dad first. Trying to remind her of the tension bringing home Elisa might bring. Okay, I'll call him, she states. Unconcerned, she gets up and walks towards one of the guards. I assume to ask for a phone. Are you happy? Elisa, I look at her. It was hard to forgive him when he kicked you guys out, but we're working through it. Are you happy here? I'm making friends. It's just not the same without you. I cover her hand with mine. I know exactly what you mean. Chapter 29. Lily comes skipping back to us. Dad's fine with it. For some reason I don't think he's totally fine with it. More like Lily told him he was fine with it, and he agreed to let her have her way. Are you headed back? Alex asks, as a rather large man with the darkest eyes I've ever seen steps closer to us. He's focused on Elisa for some reason and he doesn't look too happy. I wouldn't want to deal with him. He's as big as Kyle and looks just as hard. Mesmerized by his eyes for a split second, I snap out of it and answer Alex. Yeah, Elisa is sleeping over with us. I'll follow you back. I have a few things to discuss with your father. I nod and look around for the Robinsons. But they're not here. The three of us head to the woods to shift and I whisper to Elisa. Who was that guy? Baited on Te Hightower. A delicious caramel treat, isn't he? I giggle at her description. He's definitely memorable, I reply, looking back at the handsome man. She tucks her hair behind her ear. He asked me out. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Shocked she didn't tell me already. Yeah, we're going for dinner tomorrow. So that's why he was staring at you. By the looks of it, he doesn't want you to leave. Well, he can get over it. I want to spend time with my sister, she responds, as we go a little further into the trees. Do you like him? Like him? I question. He's a tad bossy and sometimes a little too controlling. But those eyes and those ABS, she says, pretending to swoon, making Lily and I erupt in laughter. Lily changes her voice trying to sound like Elisa. Well, arrogant and a domineering jackass. But those eyes and ABS, I don't sound like that. And I didn't call him a jackass, Elisa yells, trying not to laugh. Even if he was, would it matter? Lily asks. Elisa starts undressing. Probably not, she admits. It's kinda hot. We shift and run back to the house with more wolves than we came with. The three of us are surrounded by the other wolves and I'm surprised when we make it back quicker than I thought we would. We find our clothes where we left them and shift back. I dress quickly and find clothes for Lisa to wear. My brothers leave extra clothes outside for themselves. I'm sure they won't mind. We walk through the back door and as always Mum is in the kitchen. I didn't talk to her very much after we landed. I played dress up with Lily for about 40 minutes before we left to go see Elisa. Hey, do you need help making dinner? No, honey. I got it. Is this your sister? She asks with a smiley tears. This is Elisa. Elisa, this is my mum. I wince. That is officially the weirdest introduction that's ever been given. Mum laughs and holds out her hand. It's nice to meet you, Elisa. Nice to meet you too, Mrs. Griffin. Thanks for allowing me to come. Anytime. Truly, I mean it. Mum says, sincerely. Elisa smiles and I hear a loud bang. The twins come into the room pushing each other. Who's the hottie? In my clothes, and do I get to take them off of her? Nick asks. I jump when I hear a loud growl and see Beta Hightower glaring at Nick. Nick wisely puts his hands up in a surrendering motion. Just asking. Bro, he smacks. Watch it. Dante. Alex warns. Beta Hightower looks away from Nick and I see Nick visibly relax. Nick. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. This is my sister, Elisa. I introduced. Hey, they reply simultaneously. So, are you seeing anyone? Ryan asks, smirking. I giggle at Elisa turns red. Mum of course laughs the loudest and I look at Beta Hightower, who is not amused. But his alpha is all smiles. You're asking for it. But Beta Hightower. I stop laughing immediately, noticing the coldness in Beta Hightower's eyes. Alex growls. You scare her again. Pointing at me. And I'll be the one kicking your ass. He threatens. His Beta as Dad comes into the room. What's the problem? Dad questions. There's no problem. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Beta Hightower answers. Good. Let's talk, Alex. I just got an update from Kyle. The guy's leaving an ice mark at Elisa. You've been claimed. He's a little presumptuous. Don't you think? She asks and I chuckle. You know you love it. She sighs dramatically. I know. I look at Mum and ask, what's going on? Have you heard anything about Ivy and her being on Kyle's territory? He's searching for her. She's been there with another female he kicked out of his pack. She explains. Do you know the name of the other female? I question thinking of Anna, the brownie girl. The girl who set my bed on fire. No, Jack didn't say. Mum answers. Do you think it was that in a girl? Elisa asks me and I shrug. That's who I was thinking it might be. I reply, she did set your bed on fire. Elisa says, like I need the reminder. Someone set your bed on fire. Lily yells. Elisa tells everyone the details of Anna's jealousy. By the end, everyone seems to think it's her acting with Ivy. I can't help but feel a little relieved. I think the shock of Ivy's betrayal to the family has worn off and they're trying to minimize her chances of hurting the family. All neighboring alphas have been alerted and have agreed to detain her if she crosses onto their land. I hope she comes home and nothing comes of her threats. She obviously needs help and won't get it if she gets herself killed. Walking onto claimed land and hiding in the woods is a sure way to get yourself hurt or worse. I wonder where she is. She had to have left the US for Canada or is hiding in a nearby city. There aren't many options, but she could still have allies within the pack relaying information to her so she'd know where to hide. I can't help but worry that someone will get hurt in the end. Some things can't be controlled or predicted, no matter how careful you are. Elisa, what are you being for Halloween? Lily questions innocently. Good. Godly. I yell. Alpha Kyle Hart, the search turned up nothing. Ivy and Anna are most definitely not on my territory anymore. If they wanted to stay close, Reese's pack would be ideal. If they wanted to flee, they're either past the U.S. border into Canada, or in a big city. Jack has the cooperation from all the alphas in the surrounding packs. If Anna or Ivy come onto their territory, they'll immediately be detained until Jack can't transport them back home. I'm not comfortable with the wait. I want to find them now. I'm going to Alpha Reese, under the guise of asking about his former pack member Anna. I'll know if he has any involvement with the two. I'm not doubting that he knows something. However, he wouldn't want Emily hurt and those two women want to hurt her. I walk to our bedroom and strip down to my underwear. I climb into our bed breathing in Emily's scent, instantly finding myself wanting her. It hasn't changed. Her scent still makes me want her even after mating. It always takes control of me. I breathe in her scent and I can distinguish it from mine. It's not our scent as one. We still have separate scents. How can that be? I sit up. Her scent is still her own as is mine. I've claimed her. I've marked her and still our scents haven't joined as one. Did her body? Her wolf rejected my claim. How didn't I notice this before? I jump out of bed and dress quickly. If my claim on Emily isn't recognized, then I can still be challenged by another male on the date of the Alpha Challenge, which is Emily's 18th birthday. As it stands, we're not mated. My mark on her is meaningless. If she chose another, she could and I wouldn't be able to stop her. However, the thing that's making me rush to the door is the fact I let an unmarked female, whom I've chosen as my mate, leave my territory. I try to feel her through our bond. It's not there. Why isn't it there anymore? I didn't notice until now. I'm not feeling her emotions. I don't recall when it stopped. It could have been earlier this week. My mind has been on work and then Rachel and Anna. This is a colossal fuck-up. I call Jack. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I need you to keep Emily from any unmated males. Something went wrong with the claim. It didn't take. I can't feel her emotions. I just now noticed our scents aren't intertwined. We're not mated. Calm down. I didn't want to tell you this because I didn't want anything forced on her. But the same thing happened with Jen. My claim wouldn't hold until I'd gotten her pregnant. It looks like Emily is the same way. My claim never lasts longer than a few days. You kept this from me. I wanted my daughter to have a choice. Are you willing to wait for her to be ready to have pups? Can you accept that you won't be fully mated until then? Did you? I question. Knowingly. I did not. Then that was a pretty stupid fucking question. Now wasn't it? She gets to choose. He states with finality. I grit my teeth together, but I can't control the rage inside of me. If I lose her because you kept this from me, I'll tear your goddamn head off. I shout. Hanging up and dialing Liam. Get Emily home. Right now. I order chapter 30. We're leaving. Where are your bags? Liam questions. Looking around, by the determined look on his face I can see he's on edge. Obviously, something's happened. Why? What happened? Calmly, he's looking flustered and tense enough for the both of us. Alpha needs us back now. I don't know what's going on. Locating my bag and picking it up. If Kyle is ordering me to leave after trying to ensure I had a good time by not telling me about Ivy and Anna, then something is definitely wrong. Give me a phone, I'm calling. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben. Heartfelt thanks for your unfading patience, enthusiasm. Liam hands me his phone as he starts to pick up my things and stuff them into my duffel bag. I find Kyle's phone number just as my dad comes into the room. She's not going anywhere. Looking at a surprised Liam, Kyle ordered me to take her back home. He counters. This is her home. You're the one leaving. Dad replies. Dad, what's going on? Hesitantly, Carl discovered he has no claim on you. His mark didn't take and won't until I get pregnant. You told him. I question. He figured it out himself. I asked if he planned to impregnate you or give you the choice. He's not going to give you a choice. Emily, I knew Kyle wouldn't. I'm not shocked by the news. This is Kyle we're talking about. You didn't wait for Mom either. I state, trying to figure out my feelings about Kyle forcing me to carry his pup. I didn't wait and I never regretted it. But you're my daughter, it's different. You can still be with him. But he'll have to wait for you to be ready. He won't wait, Dad. He'll come get me himself if Liam doesn't bring me back. I know he's my father, but it's still new to me. The fact that he thinks he can stop me from leaving is really making me angry. I'll protect you from him. Don't worry about that. He tries to sound assuring lie. I don't need protection from Kylai's cough. I'm not worried about my mate hurting me. You're not his mate. The claim isn't recognized. Alex interjects, walking into the room. And I'll back your father. If either of you touch my mate, I'll never speak to you again. Emphasizing mate. Does that mean you're going to leave with Liam? Liddy asks. I shrug. I need to talk to Kyle. Emily, he told me himself he wasn't going to wait for you to be ready. Dad repeats, walking closer. Like I said, I'm aware that he won't wait. I still want to talk to him and I still consider myself Kyle's mate. Pointedly, looking at Alex, I see him start to smirk and he stops himself before it becomes a full-blown smile. I narrow my eyes and refuse to look away. I know it is a sign of disrespect towards another alpha, but I'm done with him disregarding my relationship with Kyle. So feisty. Alex chuckles. I'm not feisty. Is Lily's job? I'm pissed off. I point out. I think the term for Jess is batshit crazy. He mutters hey. Billy yells at him and throws a glass bottle of nail polish at his head. I walk away, heading towards the bathroom, not needing to hear them argue. I know they'll be able to hear my conversation, but I don't want to talk to Kyle in front of them. I open the door and close it behind me. I hit end, it only rings once before Kyle picks up. You better be in the air within the next 5 minutes. Hey, it's me. Relieved to hear his voice. Are you leaving now? He questions, his voice changing. No, I wanted to talk to you. I reply. I can sense his tension by the way he's breathing. I need you to come home right away. I know your mark was rejected. I know it will only take when I'm pregnant. Then you understand what I'll need to do. He replies, unapologetic. My heart starts to hammer in my chest. I'm not ready for that, Kyle. Breathless, it's the only way. Firmly, it's not the only way. I could stay here, but it would possibly start a fight between my father's pack and his. Do I want to do that? The answer is no. But I don't want to start a family just to be fully mated. It doesn't seem right and I know he's not thinking clearly. If I go back I could possibly convince him to wait. Then again I may fail at that too. We can wait, I suggest. No is his immediate reply. I won't leave your territory. I negotiate. We'll discuss it when you get here. I can't think about this without you in front of me. I can't be reasonable right now. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Waiting soon. I'll be waiting at the airstrip, he replies. Ending the call. I sigh and walk out of the bathroom, hitting Lily on the forehead with the door. I roll my eyes at her and Elisa giggles. I'm going back, I told Ed, who is for some reason already shaking his head. No, he'll have to wait. I heard you say you're not ready, and until you're 18 he can't claim me without my blessing. I refuse to give it. Firmly. Dad turns to Liam. Go back and tell Kyle he will have to wait until she's 18. Tell him he has competition, be it on my soil or his. Alex speaks. Crossing his arms. Alex just challenged Kyle for me in his territory as well. To my agent extraordinaire, Marilyn Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Dad says, shaking his head. That is not something I need right now. Kyle is our strongest Holly. I know what he is. I'm not changing my mind. He responds, almost harshly. I choose to be with Kyle. I'm leaving. I speak up. I won't let him start anything with Kyle over me. I want to be with him. We can work this mark and mating thing out. I'm doing what's best for you, Dad states, his eyes begging for me to understand. Whether Kyle kills Alex into months or if I go now, it won't matter. I won't be ready to start a family into months any more than I am today. What will keeping me here for 2 months accomplish? Kyle and I will figure this out together. But if you want to keep him as an ally, you better let me go. Because he'll be coming for me with your blessing or not. I can see Dad is torn and fighting with his sense of duty as my father, and the logical part of him telling him me staying here will only anger Kyle and get Alex killed. Alex is a strong alpha, but nothing like Kyle. This could turn out bad for him. He could potentially lose both Alex and Kyle. Dad, she's right. 2 months won't do anything but make Kyle mad that you kept his mate for 2 months. She's not his mate, Alex corrects. Coldly, she is choosing him. She said it. Listen to her. Lily snaps. I'll only let you go if he agrees to wait until you're ready. You may even change your mind in the 2 months you're away from him. He reasons. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm choosing to be with Kyle and he's refusing to let us be together. You're making a mistake. I can calm him down. He'll listen to me. I'll talk to him. If he agrees, I'll let you leave. If he refuses, I want you to see it from my point of view. I haven't gotten to protect you from much, but I will step in when I know he is going to force you to mate with him. I can't have it. Emily, he can't do that to you. He can wait. You should try to see where I'm coming from too, Dad. He is my mate and you're keeping me from him. This has nothing to do with you. I don't need you to step in when it comes to Kyle and I. He turns away from me and opens the bedroom door. One day you may thank me. With finality, he's not going to let me go to him. Never. I respond. Chapter 31. I haven't talked to my father in for days. That's how long he's kept me here away from Kyle. I know my anger is bothering him, but he's not budging. After Dad forced Liam to leave his territory, he also has refused to let me talk to Kyle until Kyle calms down. Only I know that won't work on Kyle. Giving him time will only make him angrier. I can only imagine how mad Kyle is with my father, and I can't wait to talk to him. I have gotten to know Kyle pretty well and his temper can get the best of him. I don't want him to start a fight with my dad over me, but it's becoming inevitable. Kyle won't wait much longer. Even though I know Kyle won't wait for me to be ready to start a family, I still want to be with him. I'm still hoping I could convince him to mark me every few days to keep our physical connection. My biggest fear is his refusal because his claim over me won't be. To my agent extraordinaire, Marilyn Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I'll still be seen as unmated to other males and he won't like it. However, he's the alpha. If I agree not to leave his land until I'm truly mated to him, he might give in. I brush my hair back into a ponytail, not caring what I look like. I throw on a large dark grey off-the-shoulder tee with black leggings and black ballet flats. It's officially my first day at the local high school. Last night I was informed I was starting school today. After finding out I was starting classes, I was mad. Then I realized Elisa will be there. More importantly, Elisa will be there with a cell phone. My cell was taken away and my father ordered everyone to refuse my request to use theirs. At least my mom is on my side of things. She's not talking to my father neither. I walk downstairs to the kitchen, almost running into my father. As I round the corner to go into the kitchen, avoiding looking at him, I back up quietly and walk around him. Emily. As I walk away, I stop walking and turn slowly, waiting for him to say what he has to say. Listen. If anything happens at school today, go to the front office and report it. I'll have someone come get you. What's going to happen? It's schooled Ad. She's not going to get shanked in the hallway, Lily says, almost making me laugh. I turn back around and walk into the kitchen, picking up an apple and grabbing a water from the refrigerator. I packed your lunch. It's already in your book bag. Mom tells me from the table. I reply, are you excited about going to school? Lily asks, jumping in place and bumping my shoulder. I give her an, are you kidding me look. Oh yeah. Well, I always wanted to be the new girl at a new school. You know, no one knowing you, everyone talking about you kind of thing. I can't help but crack a smile. Yeah, I love being the center of attention. Can't wait for people to talk about me behind my back. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilbang, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I forgot you're not a normal teenager with a yearning to be popular. Nope. I agree. Are you going to at least let me introduce you to my friends? Nope. I shake my head adamantly. I know Lily. Any introductions to her friends is bound it embarrassing at some point. Stop being such a boob punch, she states. Unhappily, Mom bursts out laughing at Lily's description of me being a boob punch, and I giggle with her. I'm not trying to be a boob punch. I just know you'll say something embarrassing and I won't avoid getting to know anyone. I'm going to keep my head down and hope I make it out alive. I hear this school is full of sharp objects and violent shifters ready to shank. Fine. Be lame. She pouts as Ryan and Nick come into the room. Finally. We've been waiting, let's get out of here. Lily complains to them and hands me my backpack. What's the rush, I haven't ate. Ryan complains. The rush, moron, is that school starts in 15 minutes. Let's go. Lily orders. I follow them out to Lee's red Hummer. I gather that my father likes big vehicles. I think that's all they own. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilbang, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Being so deep in the woods without paved roads, it's smart to have the bulky vehicle. I sit in the passenger side and the twins are in the back seat as Lily backs out of the driveway and into town. I grab the O-shed handle above the door a couple times and yell, "Brake!" more than once. Lily is officially the worst diver I have driven with. It takes less than 10 minutes to get to school since Lily ignored more than one speed limit and several stoplights. After she parks in the parking lot, I gladly get out of the car and start walking towards the school. Wait up. I'll show you to the front office so you can get your schedule. Lily offers. I'm meeting Elisa at the entrance. You don't have to come unless you want to. I do. I want to see if we have lunch together. Seeing Elisa waiting by the entrance, I give her a small wave and walk faster. Hey, thanks for waiting. No problem. Let's hope we have some classes together. She replies, smiling. We better. I mutter, walking through the doors. A couple people look our way, but generally most are too busy with their morning rituals and talking to their friends. Then I hear Lily yell to everyone, "Yo, listen up. This is my sister. Mess with her and you mess with death. Understand?" I feel my cheeks redden and dunk behind Elisa, who is laughing with Ryan and Nick. Thanks so much, sis. Sarcastically, just doing my duty. She puffs proudly. We start walking again and I notice we've gained a lot of attention thanks to Lily. I smile a few in apology before we make it to the front office. I open the door and walk in as the receptionist behind the counter greets us and holds out my schedule. You must be Emily. Here is your schedule, a locker number and combination. She states. Nicely. Thank you. I reply, taking the paper, only to have it immediately ripped out of my hand and inspected by Elisa and Lily. We'd have lunch hour together. Lily squeals happily. And we have second and fourth period together. Elisa adds, just as excited as Lily. That's good. Now we better get going. I hate being the last to class and introducing myself. Lily takes me to English and I wave by as I walk into the room. There are a few students sitting in their seats, but the class isn't full. I leave the slip of paper telling the teacher I am a new student and sit in the first row furthest from the door. I take out a notebook and ink pen, doodling its nest and lead until class starts. After an uneventful hour in English, I make my way to home, happy that Elisa will be in the class with me. I sit down at a work table and watch for Elisa. When she finally shows up with a group of friends, I realize I won't be able to be invisible with Elisa in class with me. She smiles and comes over to my table I'm at and sits down. Hey, how was English? Boring. I need a favor. I whisper to her. What? Can I borrow your cell phone? I need to talk to Kyle and my dad won't let me. He even took my phone. Why can't you two talk to him? She questions. Outraged for me. My dad thinks he needs to. Calm down first. I answer. She rolls her eyes. Like that's going to work. Keeping you from him is bad enough. But to forbid you to call is asking for a fight. I know. I agree. As she hands me her phone. Where's the nearest restroom? Down the hall to the right. I'll tell Mrs. Spencer you'll be right back. I respond. Getting up and walking out of the classroom and down the hall. I open the bathroom door. There's no one but me. So I lock the door behind me and dial Kyle's number. It rings once. Oh, for heart. Kyle's deep voice answers. Breathless from hearing his voice. I'm coming to get you soon, he replies. Instantly attentive. I figured he has been planning something. What do you have planned? Calling your father out for holding my mate prisoner on his land. I have several other packs willing to join me. So you're planning of fighting my father? Kyle, you can't do that. It's my dad. I remind him. Upset that he'd even think of fighting. What should I do? He's not giving me many options. I know. But you can't him. I think I can get away. I'll get Lily and Elisa to help me. If you can meet me somewhere, I can convince Elisa and Lily to take me. I know it. Tu es agent extraordinaire, Mylan Noble. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I ask them. It won't be far from here. The nearest big city. Maybe Lily can convince my dad to let us go shopping. I can slip away with you. If he doesn't go for that, I'm sure Lily will think of something. I'll call you tomorrow. Same time. I have to go. Now, I have class. If I don't hear from you tomorrow, I'm coming anyway. Tu m'as agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I reply, knowing he's not bluffing. I miss you. Miss you too. I reply, smiling to myself. Bye-bye, baby. I have to get away from here. If Kyle is recruiting other alphas hoping to gain their support, he's definitely preparing for a big fight. Chapter the Tito Alpha Kyle Hart. I look at the phone in my hand. It's been minutes since the phone call with Emily ended. Yet I can't stop staring at my phone. I toss it on my desk. I'm getting her back soon. That's all that matters. If she can plan to get away without involving a fight with her father, the better it'll be. I need her here with me. It's not sitting well with my wolf that she's away. We're restless and agitated. I haven't slept longer than a few hours a day. I achieved the numbers I need to pressure Jack on handing Emily over. Almost anyone can be bought in wolf packs and no exception. Those with the capital have the means of raising an army. So why am I hesitating to go after her? The same reason she is thinking of an alternative way out. It's her family. I've known Jack a very long time, and to attack him seems wrong. But him holding my mate against me is wrong too. He's being hypocritical. He mated with Jenna when he learned about his mark being rejected. I understand why he did. It's a knee-jerk reaction. I don't want to force Emily to have pups, and I don't plan to. But I can't promise my instincts won't take over. I can't agree to Jack's demand to wait until his daughter is ready. It's not any of his business anyway. He's been her father her whole life, but her dad for only weeks. Realizing the mating was rejected while Emily was out of my territory made me panic. The need to have her back on my land is overwhelming. Then Jack's refusal to let her leave incited a war. I am ready to take him out at any time, but I can't. Emily and this would. The phone on my desk rings and I pick it up quickly. Oh, for heart. Kyle, are you ready to talk civilly? Jack asks, his voice serious. He has called every 4 days wanting to talk. Yet my anger has always taken over. After talking to Emily and having a plan worked out to get her back, I can listen. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. What it is you think you're accomplishing? I demand to know. My daughter's safety and your conscience. My conscience. Baffled, I forced the women I love, my mate, to have my pups even though she wasn't ready. I live with that thought every day. That and my failure to protect my firstborn baby. Tell me that you would feel no remorse for those things. I can't. I admit. Jenna has never punished me for how I acted. She doesn't have to. I do a fine job of it myself. I can't take back what I did, and I can guarantee you'll never forgive yourself. It's something you'll never be able to make right. Now I have Emily. I can redeem myself and one of my biggest terrors in my life. I can finally protect her. You can't keep her from me. Emily and I will discuss this ours. But refusing to let my mate leave your land is unacceptable. This has nothing to do with you. You're just making me angry. I could end you with one order. Is that what you want? Why haven't you? Because unlike you, I don't want to hurt the woman I love. I can't fathom how you could have, and I hope I can avoid the same fate. I don't plan on forcing her to have pups, but the longer she is away, the stronger my urge to claim her becomes. If you don't have her on my land in 24 hours, I can't promise your safety or sparing my mate the pain of losing her father. What would you do if it was your daughter? Tiredly, I give her what she wants. What does your daughter want? They don't always know what's best for them. He grumbles. You don't know her well enough to make that distinction. Jack. I point out. He doesn't reply. He knows I am right. I know Emily better than he does. I understand he thinks he's righting a wrong that happened long ago. But he's not. He's keeping his daughter from her mate, and it's herself, serving as forcing Jenna to have his pups. Come get her. Giving in. I'm on my way. I reply. Hanging up. I stand up feeling anxious but not lighter. I'm still angry with him. But it makes sense. His actions were his desperate attempt to redeem himself. His heart was in the right place, just not his brain. I call ahead for the plane to be readied and drive to Liam's house. I pull up to his house and honk my horn once. He comes out immediately into the driver's side door. I roll down the window. Jack is allowing me to come get Emily. Finally, he mutters, distastefully. Liam is still a little sore that he was forced to leave his alpha's mate unguarded. I doubt he's going to forgive himself anytime soon. I nod. Stay and watch the pack. When will you be back? Curiously. I answer, putting away. I head toward the airstrip as quickly as possible. I don't want to wait another minute to hold her. I feel myself stir and shift in my seat. I don't know how I'll be able to refrain from taking her as soon as I see her. Emily's Robin, so when I walk back to class feeling better now that I talked to Kyle. I was surprised he built an army, but even more surprised he hasn't attacked yet. He must care about me if he waited this long to avoid fighting my father. I walk into class apologizing to the teacher and take my seat next to Elisa. I slip her phone back to her and smile at her stupidly. It went well. I nod, smiling wider. Please, tell me you didn't have phone sex using my cell. She begs, looking horrified. Gross. No, I was in a public bathroom. I remind her. She shrugged. It wouldn't have stopped me. Well, you're disgusting. Oh yeah, she says, pretending to remember suddenly. I giggle and the teacher narrows her eyes our way. We pretend to pay attention until she looks away. By the way, your wish to stay invisible has failed. I wince. What are they saying? Everyone in Alex's pack has been ordered to be nice to you, making his intention towards you obvious. His pack is naturally curious and asking Lily all kinds of questions. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfading patience, enthusiasm. She's loving the attention and she is telling everyone they did to Alpha Heart. Remind me to thank her that. She smiles. I'm sure she'll remind you herself. If Alex challenges Kyle and loses, Beta Hightower would take over the pack. He would run the pack for a full year before any other challenges for the position could be made. I hope Beta Hightower is ready to run a pack. I whisper. Elisa gives me a leveled look and I am shocked by her seriousness. She takes out a piece of paper writing. He was planning on challenging Alex anyway. Really, I whisper. Stunned. Even knowing how intimidating Beta Hightower looks, I am still surprised he'd challenge his Alpha. He already has power as a Beta. Why would he want to risk his life for the Alpha position? Now get started class. I look up at the teacher and round the room. Everyone is getting supplies to bake homemade cookies. Elisa walks away to get the supplies and I snap out of it. I follow and help with the ingredients, carrying them awkwardly because of my cast. When it's lunchtime, Lee finds me and pulls me towards the commons to eat. Please. No announcements involving me. I beg you. What do you mean? Completely perplexed. Don't do what you did this morning. I remind her. Oh. She laughs. Sorry. I wanted to be part of the gossip. Really? What? No one cares about me. You've made me popular. All the seniors are talking to me and the juniors are wishing they were me. You're a godsend. She gushes. I roll my eyes. I can't see Lily as someone anyone could ignore, but I don't say anything. Just a few more hours and I can get out of here. I was thinking I really need some new clothes. Do you think you could talk Dad into let's go to the nearest mall? No way. He's on lockdown waiting for Kyle to show up. He is. Surprised though. Since Kyle won't talk without yelling at him, Dad is sure he's going to attack. Why would he risk the pack like that? I question, thinking out loud. Dude, you're his daughter. He already failed to protect you after you were born. He's trying to make it up to you, I guess. I stop walking. Here I am hating my father, when he's only trying to assure I get a choice. I'm such a bitch. Instead of hating him, I should try talking to him. I need to tell him that I don't blame him for Alpha Reese Sr. kidnapping me. He needs to know that I can make decisions for myself, that I want to be with Kyle. Kyle has already shown restraint by not advancing on my father's territory. Maybe he can show restraint when it comes to the claiming me. Lily pulls up my arm until I start to move again. I walk with her into the lunchroom. The smell of food hits me, making me hungry. I put all thoughts of Kyle in the back on my mind and continue to follow Lily to a half-empty table. I sit and so does Lily, who is already talking a mile a minute to the person from her. When lunch is almost over, the room goes quiet. I look up from the book I'm reading and everyone is staring wide-eyed at the double doors that led out to the parking lot. I turn in my seat to see what is happening and see Kyle walking towards me. My eyes go wide and my pulse races. I stand up and start running towards him, flinging myself into his arms. His arms wrap around me, kicking me up, and I wrap my legs around his waist to support my weight. Miss me? I shrug and smile. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Chapter 33. I tighten my legs around Kyle as he walks further away from school, resting my head on his shoulder. I still can't believe he's here and I don't care how it happened. I miss this. He makes me feel whole and safe when I'm with him. I felt all of that as soon as we made eye contact in the lunchroom. I never want to go a day without it. I just want to go home. Are we leaving? Yes, immediately. He replies, arms tightening around me. I know that I hear him, as he stops at a black Hummer and I lift my head. Does my dad know? Amused he does. He replies, and sets me on my feet. Not that it matters, but explain anyway. I request. He realized he was making a mistake. Leaning down and capturing my lips in a searing kiss. I sigh when he pulls away. I'm grateful. That means no fighting. Not entirely. He grumbles. Not liking the sound of that, my face falls. He looks away from me and nods behind me. I turn, watching Alex pull into the parking lot. Not looking happy about Kyle's presence. Forgive me, Kyle says, leaning down. I'm confused until I feel his canines at the side of my neck and his hands bracing my neck. He bits down hard and I wince until the euphoric feeling washes over me. Alex's loud growl breaks me out of the trace and I watch as he walks determinedly to us. Kyle moans as he stands upright and watches Alex. I don't know how you convinced Jack to agree to this, and I don't care. However, you are now on my land and I'm not okay with it. It's shared land. Between you and the Griffin pack. Kyle corrects, I don't believe you got my permission. Shared land or not. We can settle this disagreement right now. Kyle welcomes. I feel his anger and excitement spike through me. Alex nods. Fuck it. I'm not keen on waiting any longer. I stand stunned at their casual agreement to try to kill one another in front of me. They take one step closer to each other when both of their pockets ring simultaneously. Both take out their phones and out as if nothing is amiss. Alpha heart. Alpha bricks. I look at both them, not in shock but fascination. They're both so similar. Is it an alpha thing to walk around without any fear? They lock eyes while still on their phone. They hang up within seconds of each other. After we handle this, your ass will be 6 feet under. Cole tells him. The only thing I'll be buried in. Alex says, gesturing towards me, making me gasp at his crudeness. Cole throws the first punch, contacting with the side of Alex's face, just below his eye. The force knocks Alex back against his car. Alex stands up, quickly holding his jaw and working it back and forth. Cole motions Alex forward, asking for a fight. Alex complies and rushes forward, turning into his wolf. Cole jumps, shifting in mid-air, his jaws snapping at Alex. Others start making their way to the parking lot, some even climbing out windows to witness the fight. Teachers and students mix together, trying to find a close spot. I see Lily and her concerned face as she fights to get closer. I call out to her, getting her attention. She looks up and I yell, "Cold ad now." She nods and takes out her phone. I scan the crowd looking for Elisa, finding her standing next to Beta Hightower. I watch as she tries to pull away from him and his hand tightens around her arm, not allowing her to come closer. I study Beta Hightower. He looks happy about the fight. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nogan, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Why wouldn't he be happy his alpha is being attacked? He could take over without a fight. Disgusted, I look back at Elisa, who is now beyond frightened and is pleading for help. When she tugs at her arm again and cries out in pain, I don't hesitate. I shift and sprint towards Beta Hightower with one purpose: to get him away from Elisa. He doesn't see me and doesn't care about his treatment to Elisa's arm or her tears. I plow into him as hard as I can, allowing Elisa to move away as he falls back. I land off him, clawing at his body and biting the spot where his neck meets his shoulder, shacking my head, tearing a chunk of his flesh from his body. His eyes are murderous as he glares at me, and fear ripples through me as he shifts into his wolf. I back away from him, feeling my paw throb, completely forgetting about my early injury. As I stupidly attacked, I hold my paw slightly off the ground. I watch as my attack registers on his face. Seconds later, the weight of his body forces me backward onto my back. His head lowers to my neck, his jaws snapping, but before he can hurt me, his head is pulled away under Kyle's arm and his head is twisted, snapping under the pressure, effectively killing him in one quick move. Kyle pulls the corpse of Beta Hightower's body off of me and lets it drop. Alex comes to my side and I close my eyes when I see he's naked. He attacked you. I nod and still in wolf form. He rolls me over and I stand up, whimpering when I put pressure on my paw. It's not as bad as it was when I first broke it, but I'm sure what I did wasn't the smartest thing to do. I just hope I didn't break it. I sit back down and Kyle comes back with a blanket still completely nude. Ada Hightower was forcing me to stay near him and refused to let me help Emily. He was excited you were going to be killed, and he was going to take over the pack. He told me himself, and when I started to struggle. Elisa explains, showing Alex and Kyle her arm. Cole bends down covering me with the blanket. Looks like your beta had bigger and better plans, Kyle states. Then looks at me. He orders and I obey. He tightens the blanket around me as I shift to my smaller form. How's your wrist? Just a little sore. You tacked Dante for your sister, Alex asks, as if verifying Elisa's story. Yeah, he was hurting her, I answer, taking in his cut face and already swelling eye. Don't ever do that again, Kyle demands, pulling me into his arms and standing up. I check his face and see a couple of scratches but nothing serious. I don't think they got to more than scuffling before Kyle stopped the fight to save me. Lily says, siding with Kyle. Sorry to break up the love fest, but my dad said he needs to see the both of you. Shit, Alex says, walking quickly to his car, and Kyle does the same. What's the rush? I question, startled by both the Alpha's compliance. Rachel is coming. The Red Moon Pack detained her. They are escorting her back to your dad's territory. He wants us to be here when they show up. Which should be any minute. He places me in the car and walks around the car, getting behind the wheel and speeding back to my dad's house. As we speed through town, I can't help but think of riding with Lily as we fly through another red light. We pull up just as Alex gets out of his car and Kyle parks the car. I get out following Kyle into the house. My dad greets us, his face anxious, and he calls for clothes to be brought to the guys. I start walking upstairs to change, but Kyle stops me with one hand. I look at him, then towards the blanket, telling him without words I need to change, and he removes his arm. Don't take long, he replies. Seriously. I smile at his need to be with me and nod. I turn back and start running up the steps, wanting to be with him just the same. I wince when I have to hold the blanket with my weak hand and open the door. I walk in and straight to the duffel bag I brought with me. I take out a white bra, underwear, dark skinny jeans, and a white tank top. After getting dressed as fast as I can, I start making my way to the first floor, more specifically my father's office. I knock once and the door opens. Dad is standing holding the door wide. He must have been pacing because Kyle and Alex are sitting. Alex is in the chair in front of the desk and Kyle is on the couch. I make my way over to Kyle, his hands instantly grabbing my hips and brining me onto his lap when I'm close enough. I smile and lean back into his chest, loving his warmth. His arms go around me, and he nuzzles the mark he made on my neck. I can't help but smile at his affectionate side and giggle when I feel his members start to harden. Please, refrain from the groping while I'm here, Lily says, sitting next to us on the couch. Carl doesn't listen and continues to kiss and nibble my earlobe. Lily pretends it's making her vomit and I laugh. I notice Alex looking grumpy, yet he also looks defeated. He must know that he was no match for Kyle. At least I hope he knows. Alex may be a little rough around the edges, but I know he's a good man. A good man that just lost his beta. I'm sorry about your beta. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeline Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Don't be. I'm glad I know he had no loyalty towards me. He replies, watching the door. Elisa is not in trouble, is she? Why would she be in trouble? Is there something you're not telling me? Alex questions, instantly on alert. No, I just thought because she was with him. I don't know. It was a stupid question. I mumble, looking at the floor. Way to basically tell him Elise knew Dante was going to challenge him. I still can't believe what happened. I almost had a crap attack. Lily says, seriously biting her fingernails. Gross. Where do you get this? Television. But it's the truth, you shouldn't have done that. Lily replies, shaking her head. Sorry if I worried you. patting her hand. But if you do that ever again, I'll kill you myself. She responds, winking at me. When are they supposed to be here? Not that I miss the bitch. Lily asks, looking at Dad, sighing and running his fingers through his hair and looks at his watch. 10 more minutes. He answers as Jack Jr. comes in the room looking tired. Big brother looks like he hasn't slept in days. How's Brenda? Dad asks, concerned, uncomfortable and hormonal. She was tossing and turning all night. The due date is next week, but I think it'll be any day now. He replies, tiredly. Mom comes in right after Jack Jr. and rubs his back sympathetically. She'll be okay, Mom states, reassuringly. I'm just ready for the pup to come already. Sitting in the chair next to Alex. Since everyone is here, I have an announcement to make. Dad states, looking at everyone. I'm stepping down as Alpha the day after the challenge. He looks at Jack, who looks stunned by the announcement. That gives you a year of running the pack and training for next year and any future challenges. To his son, are you sure? Jack asks Dad. Yes, I'm trying getting too old for these sleepless nights. Dad responds, looking like he'd rather step down tomorrow. You'll do great, Mom tells Jack Jr., smiling encouragingly. They're here, Kai announces to the room. Dad strides to the door and Kyle stands upsettingly on the couch next to Lydia and follows after my dad. To my agent extraordinaire, Mylan Nilben, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. And Jack Jr., stay here, Kyle demands, looking straight at me just as he leaves. Do you think she's going to go mental on us all? Lydia whispers, spook ILY. I roll my eyes and Mom tells her to stop. I'm more nervous about the Red Wolf pack coming here than Ivy. They never leave their territory and I heard it's almost impenetrable if you're an outsider and don't know where to go. The land is full of mountains and ravines. Many people have died trying to attack the pack after finding the land rich with oil. I don't know much about the Alpha or the pack other than the fact they never admit outsiders. Asking to join their pack is met with rejection more often than not. I can hear things being discussed and more than one person is talking at once. I can't make out what is being said, but it seems to be an earnest discussion without any raised voices, which is always a good sign with Werewolf. What's taking so long? Lily grumbles. I shrug and look at the clock. It's only been 10 minutes. But just like Lily, it feels like it's taking forever. There's a light knock on the door and the twins come in with Elisa right behind them. She smiles at me. How are you feeling? Holding out my soft cast. I found this on the ground. I'm fine. I reply, taking the cast and putting it back on my wrist. Everyone is talking about you taking on Beta Hightower. Ryan says. I'm sure they are. I remark, amused. What were you thinking? Shaking his head. Obviously I wasn't. I reply, lifting up my injured wrist. I know I shouldn't say anything, but I think we need to address the 9FT Python we all seen today. Lily states, regrettably. Confused by her seriousness, I look at her. She turns her head smirking at me. Kyle's hung like a freaking horse. My mouth drops open and the room laughs. Lily, what? I thought my eyes were going to pop out of my head. I couldn't stop staring at it and I hate to tell you this, but I swear it was starting back at me. Like this, she says, closing one eye and opening the other wide. Is that supposed to be Kyle's penis? Elisa asks. Well, I'm nearly as big as it. Lily jokes. It's a good likeness. Elisa nods, her head seriously. Don't encourage her. I scold to Elisa. Can we please not talk about Kyle's one-eyed monster? Ryan asks, disgusted yet entertained. Yes, let's move on from that. Have you been out to see the Red Wolf pack? I question the boys. I didn't, but Nick did. Ryan answers. What were they like? Lily asks. Huge. As big as Kyle. Nick says, sitting in the chair Alex vacated earlier. They're all getting along though, right? I question. Interested. Yeah. They want to come to some kind of agreement. I'm not sure what it involves. He responds. The doors open and Dad walks in. Come to the living room. Everyone. We all stand up and follow him to the crowded room. Rachel and Adela are sitting on the couch, looking a little worn from the travel, and obviously both are upset to be here. I'm aware of the others in the room, but I keep my head lowered and walk to Kyle. His arm wraps around my waist and he pulls me to his side. I look up to him, taking in his relaxed nature. As long as Kyle is relaxed and comfortable, I know I don't have anything to worry about. This is my daughter Emily and her mate Kyle, whom you've met. I look up and over to my father, noticing the big man next to him. This is Beta Kevin Martin of the Red Wolf Pack. I give a small wave and Dad continues to introduce the rest of the family. I'm curious to know what type of agreement the two, possibly for packs, have made together. Beta Martin has brought back your sister in hopes of securing a friendship between our packs. His pack has been isolated and needs to reach out to other packs in hopes of finding mates. So, basically they need new blood. Unless they want to mate with their uncles, cousins, sister type of thing. Lily questions loudly. The whole room goes silent, waiting for the reaction from Beta Martin. However, the stress of the day or the fact that my sister is just plain crazy gets to me and I laugh. Kyle tightens his arm around me as I threaten to fall to the floor. I finally pull myself together and look towards Beta Martin to I apologize. Sorry, it's been a long day. I explain, still finding it hard not to laugh. I notice Lily shifting where she stands, obviously feeling uncomfortable. Come on, it was just a joke, I state, rolling my eyes and looking around. What's the big deal? Tough crowd, Lily grumbles, making me smile. There are a lot of rumors about Calpac already. I really don't need any more gossip going around, Beta Martin replies, crossing his arms. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilbel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Lily apologizes. I look up to Kyle, who kisses my forehead and addresses Beta Martin. I think we should discuss more details, and each pack will have what different arrangements with you. Perhaps you should come to an understanding here and visit each pack individually. That way you can consult with your alpha. I'd rather get it done from here. Beta Martin responds. Yes, I agree. One pact involving the 4 packs will be less complicated. Dad says, agreeing with Beta Martin. I don't want this to take more than a few days. I want to be back on my land as soon as possible. Kyle states, firmly. You mean you want to have your mate on your land as quickly as possible? A big man standing by the back door corrects knowingly. I haven't noticed him. Standing there. He's impossibly big, with thick defined arms, tall and an almost menacing glare. Yet, his eyes don't look unkind, just hard. Alpha Thompson. Kyle greets. Alpha Hart. Alpha Thompson. Tilts his head in acknowledgement. I notice my dad catching on. Yet he seems confused. Your beta has been negotiating a pact under your request and you're here. He questions. I don't care to mediate. Simply, you know about Emily and Kyle? Lily inquires. I took the liberty of finding out the specifics when he was raising an army to get her back. Alpha Thompson explains. Find out what? Ivy asks. They're not entirely mated, like Mom was with Dad. Ryan answers. Ivy laughs and looks at us happily. Seems like you picked the wrong Griffin. I picked the only sane one. Carl retorts, earning a disgruntled hey from Lily. Let's discuss this pact in my office. Dad states. The alphas retreat to the office and I feel Anna's hate for me. I'm sure she's killing me in 1,000 different ways. Mum moves and invites everyone into the kitchen for snacks and drinks. I turn to follow when I feel claws dig into my back, making me scream out in pain. It doesn't stop there. The bites my neck. Her teeth pierce my skin and I feel my blood flow from the wound, the warmth of it soaking my tank top and staining the carpet. I don't know if it's from loss of blood or the pain that makes things go black, but I welcome it gladly. Alpha Kyle Hart. After the feeling of claws pierce my back, I leave the office. rushing into the living room as I feel the pain of teeth sinking into my. I see Ivy pulling on Anna's for trying to get her off Emily. I join her pulling Anna back and ending her life exactly like I did with Data Hightower. I snap her neck and throw her lifeless body against the wall. I pick up Emily's bleeding body as we are joined by the rest of the house. That she, Wolf, was pregnant. Alpha Thompson states, looking at the body. I have no feelings of remorse killing her, but the child will play on my conscience. A medical kit is brought to me by Jenna and I set Emily on the couch. Stopping the bleeding from the neck is priority. I clean it and put on a clotting solution. Jenna helps me wrap the bandage around her neck and to turn her onto her stomach. Jenna and I pull away what's left of her tank top and clean the claw marks. When we're done, I don't say a word. I take the blanket from the back of the couch and cover her before picking her up, carrying her to her bedroom. I set her down gently and roll her onto her stomach. The claw marks aren't as bad as I thought they would be, but her neck wound was deep. A kill shot. My blood boils. I should have taken her out instead of letting her leave the pack. Now I'll have the father of Anna's baby coming after me. Another fight at my doorstep when all I want to do is be with Emily.